The other day, I was at the central station in Luxembourg and I was completely unaware of my surroundings. I had my luggage on the path that guides people who are visually impaired. Some people even stood on the path. Then a man with a walking stick was walking in a straight line and he sensed my luggage with the stick. I noticed, then I moved my luggage, then I saw he continued to walk in a straight line and towards people that were also standing on the path. Then I realized we were all actually blocking him because the floor is designed to guide him to his destination. If you don't know what guides I'm talking about, it's these ones. They're called tactile pavings or detectable warnings. Detectable warnings because you can sense these when you're walking or with a walking stick. They're designed to assist people who are visually impaired when getting around in public places, especially places like train stations, bus stations, or streets. As you can see, the pavings all lead to something. Doors, service desks, platforms, and here it actually leads you from the train station to the tram station. And of course, if you want to get out of the whole area, the pavings on the streets can guide you to your destination. Each type of paving has a meaning to it. It's not just done randomly or for decorations. I think every country has their own patterns and meanings, or they could be universal. This I'm not exactly sure, but if you do know, let me know in the comments down below. The basics is that the pavings should be able to warn of a pedestrian crossing, like indicating the edge of a platform at a train station or a curb, sidewalk, indicate hazards like stairs and so on. Here, even when the tram stops, I think it has to be in line with the squares, as people who are visually impaired would expect the doors to be open around that area. The doors did open on the squares. Tactile paving was invented by Shiichi Miyake, a Japanese inventor who came up with the idea to help his friend who was losing his vision and was having a hard time to get around public areas. At first, he invested his own money to make this happen, but eventually Japan embraced the idea, and now most countries use these ideas. This means Sir Miyake did pave the way literally and practically. In Luxembourg, detectable warnings are not available in the whole country as some of the infrastructure is old, but most of the new infrastructure has these types of pavings. Now, how are the pedestrian crossings done? How can someone know if it's safe to cross if the paving leads to a pedestrian crossing? This is how seeing people stop the traffic lights. As you know, not all make an alert sound to cross the road. This can be difficult to cross for visually impaired people, but there is a button at the bottom they can press, this one. And when you press this button to stop the lights, when it's good to go, you will hear the sound. In the UK, some of the buttons at the bottom do spin when it's good to go. These signals have also been incorporated in the trains, trams, and buses. Each stop is to be signaled by an audio announcement beforehand. To be fair, this helps seeing people to be alert for the next stop as well.
Another break.
Back to the detectable warnings, I just need to point out that the color of the warnings is very important because it's not only visually impaired people who use this, but also people who are partially sighted. The colors on the warnings should contrast the surface, otherwise it defeats its purpose. So the pattern type and the colors should all be working together. It should be done in a way that a partially sighted person is able to recognize the warnings, but at the same time, it does not cause too much distractions. Overall, I don't know how good the paving is in Luxembourg for people who are visually impaired, and I don't personally know anyone who does, but I think the older towns would be difficult for someone to try to navigate around them if they are visually impaired. I hope some of you understood why you shouldn't just be standing and getting comfortable on these warnings in public. So please be aware of your surroundings when you're traveling and make note of these things that seem to just be there, but in most cases, they have a purpose. I think these guides are the standard in Europe for most public places I know for sure the UK has this too. Does your country have this? If yes, let me know in the comments down below. That's it from me. I will see you next time. Bye.